hardware has been taken over to physics. So the readout electronics here is going to be using the Felix board, which is this board here. This board is going to actually be used for both the TPC and INTT. This board was developed initially for Atlas. It was laid out over here, but it was developed across the street in physics. And we are writing some of the firmware for this board.
So they actually use this one in Atlas? There's a ton of cool papers from Atlas for electronics. They use some nice FPGAs.
Well, Felix it's actually a joint project with CERN.
Okay.
And this was developed specifically for Atlas, but since we also designed it here at BNL, we developed the hardware, they're doing all the software. We're like, well, it's a beautiful card. Let's use it for other experiments. So, so we're using it for SPhenix. We're using it for Dune. For SPhenix, it's being used for the TPC and INTT. So it's just reusing electronics that we currently have. And so that's pretty much it. So I just have a whole bunch of pictures of different electronics that so these are all the boards that we pretty much develop here in-house and hardware. So yeah, I mean, that's a quick, not quick, got to go about an hour.
No, we needed it. That was good. This was extremely interesting.
So, yeah, so I mean, the nice thing, which I love about working here at Instrumentation, is that we work on so many different projects, from Lucy landing. I mean, that's something new. Whoever thought you building part of a lunar lander, I worked on PET imagers, which is I don't know if you saw in the hallway. There's a PET imager for a mouse, so it's called RatCap. So it's pretty much a PET imager that fits on the head of a mouse, and so from PET imaging to landing on the moon, it's physics experiment. So it's working from the very beginning with the ASIC designers, with a physicist, helping develop the ASICs, testing the ASICs, building the boards, coming up with a system, coming up with the timing systems. I didn't even talk about timing systems at all. Power systems, overall system architecture, developing the hardware, installation, and the one thing I hate the most, writing user software. Yeah, so it's nice where you get to work on pretty much every part of it. And like I said, we have a small group. We have 5 people in my group. Looking to expand it. So got a couple of job openings, if you guys are interested.
Well, you should get into this group's head, because so one of Harel's PhD tasks, he has to design a test protocol and mitigation strategy for some SRAM-based FPGAs that we intend to put in space.
Okay.
And so I expect to see Harel asking lots of questions. Harel.
Is it possible for us to get this slide deck, or I don't know if this is proprietary?
No.
Just for our own reference, because I really would like to look more into these projects.
None of this stuff is really
it's
classified in any way.
Yeah, I didn't present any of the classified stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we really work on much like.
We have a couple things here.
No.
I mean, the one which is kind of fun, which I'll show you. I can tell you what we do, is the neutron detector. So I showed you the 1 meter, but we have a 24 centimeter neutron detector.
You did mention that.
So we actually took 2 of them to Texas, to a nuclear silo, where they put that. This is the part that scares me. They want to verify or count the number of nuclear warheads on top of a missile, and I guess they want to verify that the warheads are there. So rather than taking apart the whole missile to count that thing, they're using the 2 neutron detectors as a stereo camera to actually count the number of warheads on top of the missile. So, yeah.
But that's pretty cool, right? I mean, when you think about it, like, the crazy ass physicists will say, well, you know what, we could probably just use like two neutrino counters and
Well, neutron, but, okay.
neutron counters. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
It's-
no, exactly.
it's a pretty cool job. So
Yeah.
you guys should definitely hang out and ask a lot of questions.
I got a question.
Alright.
Especially this one here, Cameron, he's afraid to just like roll up his sleeves and build stuff.
Well, that's the one,
That's what we do.
I mean, that, half the fun here is the fact that not only do we sit down and write the code and write the firmware, debugging the hardware is half the fun. If you ask me, I have more fun trying to figure out what's wrong with the hardware we develop. Or you install a piece of hardware in CERN and all of a sudden
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work. What's going on? So, putting as many sensors and methods of reading back any type of feedback that you can have in the system is critical to help debug what's going on. So current monitors, voltage monitors, thermal monitors, and anything you can do that can help debug a situation is critical. And for Dune, I mean, we had boards that were installed, and all of a sudden we lost communication on some of the boards. And it turned out like some of the wires got pinched during installation. Trying to figure out, okay, once these power starts are closed and filled with millions of dollars of liquid argon, you can't empty it to fix it.
Right.
So trying to figure out, is it possible that changing the firmware, can you fix it that way somehow? On one board in ProtoDune, I was able to do that. We discovered that one of the clock lines were pinched and killed the clock. Thank God I had a backup oscillator, so I had to rewrite a new piece of firmware, switch over to the backup oscillator, and it came alive. And then after the experiment was over, we opened it up, and sure enough, the cable was pinched. So debugging is half the fun. I mean, just trying to, it's a puzzle. And I like puzzles.
And building redundancy into your designs and things like that. This is crucial.
So I call it throwing in the kitchen sink.
Definitely
So-
need the kitchen sink.
So most of my boards have too much redundancy.
There's never too much redundancy. Because I always expect the worst, right? Always expect the worst. With hardware, expect the worst.
But then you always get into the point where, okay, like power starts to go up, part count starts to get a little bit too expensive. So there's always a trade-off. And I mean, the more complex boards I don't lay out. We actually have a CAD department here that lays out the boards for us. Simple boards we do ourselves, but more complex board. When I start throwing in things that don't get populated, they get upset. All right, so let's go on the tour, and